Good morning, and thank you for joining us on FRHSTV. I'm Tim Quinn.
And I'm Ryan Lucht.
Before we get started today, I want to thank everyone for all the positive feedback from the very first episode of FRHSTV at home. We're glad to provide some happiness in this unprecedented time.
That's right. It was great to see everyone tuning in last week, but this week we have another amazing show, including interviews from our own superintendent, Dr. Perino, Ms. Messina, and Beth Quinn,
And we also have some segments with our own Tom Nicely and Anthony DeFilippo.
as well as many other interesting news stories to get into today.
That's right, a lot to look forward to later on in the show. But for now, this is the news. The application deadline for the Leadership Westmoreland Youth Academy has been extended until May 1st. The experience will be a 5-day leadership development program offered from June 22nd through the 26th from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It is designed to introduce students to leadership concepts and provide interaction with local business, government, and community leaders. Participants will be rising sophomores, juniors, and seniors with a GPA of at least 2.5. While some time is spent in a classroom setting at the Westmoreland County Chamber office, most of the week is spent observing leadership in action at various locations. To apply, students will need to complete the application and get a letter of recommendation. The brochure can be found on the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce website. For information, please contact Grace Markham at leadership@westmorelandchamber.com or call 814-659-7144.
Last week, we told you about the food distribution program that Franklin Regional is providing for our students. Our own Joe Cimbalo recently talked with school superintendent Dr. Jamie Perino about this program.
Hello, I'm here with Dr. Perino, the superintendent of Franklin Regional School District. He is a big advocate for the food distribution for all of Franklin Regional students. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Perino. First, can you tell me how you and your family are doing?
My family and I are doing well. Obviously, just like many of you, the online learning environment is new and new to us. And so, as parents, I'm working from home and from here at the school, as well as having 5 kids who are trying to figure out online learning and doing a pretty good job with it because their teachers are doing a pretty good job with it. And so, it's a new life for us and a new life, but all things considered, we are healthy and doing well. But most of all, I can say that I miss having students on campus and those interactions each and every day.
So, can you tell us a bit about the food distribution program that FR is holding for students?
So, any Franklin Regional student of any age, up to age 21, as well as any student or child who lives in our community under age 18 and under, they're eligible for the breakfast and lunch program. And so essentially, we ask that people go on the night before by 5 o'clock, register for their meals, and you can actually register for an entire week at a time. Register for meals, and then we have meals. We distribute meals up here at the high school. People drive right up, and our school police officers are helping serve those meals or hand them out. We have people who work in our as secretaries, as greeters, as classroom assistants, as working here, as well as school administrators to distribute those lunches as well. So it's a big operation. Not to mention our cafeteria workers who are doing a great job in terms of getting a lot of meals ready to go out to students.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what food options are there for students?
Well, it's not like the traditional cafeteria. Just due to the volume and how the meals have to be distributed. Just due to the volume and how the meals have to be distributed, and you can see people coming in behind me, they can't provide options. However, there is a menu online to check out. We have some of the favorites, the nacho platter. I know that's a student favorite. Today is pasta day here at the high school, and there's a big response for that. So the cafeteria staff and Met's Culinary is trying to provide a variety from day to day in terms of the number of meals for lunch. And so that's so though you might not get to choose every day, we are varying those meals for students.
Cool. So is this only for students, or who's able to participate in this?
Yeah, well, a lot of the people participating are Franklin Regional students in grades K to 12, but as part of the federal school lunch program, for reimbursement purposes, we actually had to apply to the federal government to be able to do this, to be able to provide this option. And so it's any student. They don't have to attend Franklin Regional Schools, or any child age 18 and under. So you could have someone with a toddler coming to get meals. They're eligible to participate in the program.
About how many families do you think are taking advantage of this program?
In terms of the number of families, that could vary, but on an average day, we're serving between 500 and 600 students from across the district, or children aged 18 and under. So, but today we're well over 600. We prepared to serve 750 today. But one of the important factors is what we're finding is we have a lot more people participating than are registering in the program. And so we would just ask that people get online and do the registration so that we can have a more accurate picture in terms of how many people are being served. So we're preparing about 100 more meals than people are replying for or ordering. However, when we run out of the advertised meal, then we replace that with different sandwiches and those types of things. So it may be pasta day, and if we run out of pasta, people will get a lunch, but it might not be what they wanted or ordered.
Right. So is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers about the program?
I think the program, right now, we know that everyone's situation is different. There are some people, based upon employment or financial situations, where this program's a lifesaver for them. There are people who are trying to manage online education and work remotely from home. And this program allows them some flexibility. So they're not preparing breakfast and not preparing lunch, as well as providing support to their kids, and having to clean up and do all those pieces and those types of things. And for some people pull up with their students, or we have students who actually drive up themselves. And for them, it's that consistency of a school lunch, of that familiar face, of that person, that additional caring adult, that makes a difference for them. And so this program meets different needs, but we're happy to do it. And for me, it's the highlight of my day when I get to see folks come up to the school for this service.
That's awesome. I'm sure a lot of people really enjoy that. All right. Thank you so much. And we hope that you and your family continue to stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you really soon.
I'm looking forward to it. Go Panthers.
All right. Let's head back over to Tim and Ryan for the rest of the show.
Thanks, Joe. Franklin Regional School District recently was honored being named one of the best communities for music education from the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation for its outstanding commitment to music education. Now in its 21st year, the Best Communities for Music Education designation is awarded to districts that demonstrate outstanding achievement in efforts to provide music access and education to all students. Franklin Regional offers an array of music education programs for students of all grade levels, such as marching band, orchestra, strings, jazz band, wind ensemble, concert band, guitar, vocal jazz, chorus, and choir. Another area in which FR excels is art. Recently, members of the National Art Honor Society were involved in a project that involved sending a few of their art pieces to other sides of the world. Our own Tom Nicely recently talked with art teacher Miss Mazzina and one of her students, Sierra Saint, about this project.
Hello, I am here with art teacher Miss Mazzina and student Sierra Saint, who are both recently worked on a project called the Memory Project. Thank you both for joining me today. Miss Mazzina, can you explain what the Memory Project is?
So the Memory Project is a national project. It's an organization that organizes all of the photos, takes photos of children from overseas and countries that are having a lot of hardship, maybe war, something like that. And they are at-risk children that they take pictures of and then send them to our students, and our students use their artistic talents to create these wonderful gifts, to recreate their portraits, and then they are sent back to them, and then they are given back to the students. So these are typically children who have very little, and so this is a very special gift for them.
How did the National Art Honor Society become involved with this project?
So one of the goals of our National Art Honor Society students is they have to do 10 hours of service work, much like NHS students do, except our service hours involve doing art projects for the community. And the community can be the local community, meaning Murrysville, or it could be the global community at large. So that fulfills one of these projects.
And Sierra, I know you've done several pieces for this project. Can you tell us why you decided to get involved with projects and other students, like why they've gotten involved with the project?
Well, for me, it started in my sophomore year when I first started NAHS. And as an artist, I like to do portraits generally. So I thought that this would be a good way for me to like exhibit my talents and then get those hours like Mrs. Mozina was talking about, and then also to benefit the community and people who really need or would enjoy the portraits.
Ms. Messina, what are the reactions that you've seen from the children who receive the portraits?
Well, the video that we're sent a video of the students receiving their portraits, and they are always ecstatic and happy, and this is such a special thing for them that it really brings tears to your eyes, you know, when you get to see them receiving their portraits. So that's something we unfortunately don't get to see in person, but they at least send us the video of that each time.
That's amazing. Can students who are not involved with the National Art Honor Society still be involved with the project? If so, how?
Yes, we put out, usually twice a year, we do this project in the fall and the spring. And I will put it out first to my NHS students. And then we typically request around 20 to 25 portraits. And if I have additional portraits that still need to be completed, I will put out an email request to all of our art students first. And then from there, I might put it out, you know, even further if we still need additional artists.
Sierra, what is the most special part of the project?
I would definitely say seeing the reactions of the kids and knowing that your art and your work is being appreciated. I watched the video that the Memory Project sent us this year, and it was really inspiring to see all of the kids' reactions and how genuinely happy they were to receive portraits of themselves. And it was nice to see, because I actually did see one of the portraits that I completed in the video, in like one of the group pictures they took together. So it's really nice to know that ultimately your work is being appreciated by someone.
Yeah, it sounds like an amazing project. And finally, do you have anything to say to people about how they can help with this endeavor?
I would say that it doesn't matter your ability as an artist. Just something I know from being in NAHS and then in art classes in the past as well. People always talk about how they don't want to take art classes because they don't think they're like a good artist. But ultimately, that's not what matters. It's, you know, if you enjoy doing something, you don't have to be good at it. And especially for a project like this where somebody is going to be receiving your work, they're going to appreciate the sentiment regardless of if you think it looks good or not.
Well, thank you both so much. We hope you and your family stay safe, and hopefully we will see you real soon. All right, now let's head back over to Tim and Ryan for the rest of the show.
Thanks, Tom. With no sports on TV at the moment, we are waiting anxiously for any news from our local teams. Our own Anthony DeFilippo brings us the most recent news on our Pittsburgh favorites.
Hello, I'm Anthony DeFilippo, and today I'm going to be giving an update on the most recent news in Pittsburgh sports. Okay, first up is the Pittsburgh Penguins. They made 2 undrafted signings of guys just coming out of college by the names of Drew O'Connor and Cam Lee. O'Connor is 21 and signed with Pittsburgh on March 10th after he finished his sophomore season at Dartmouth, where he finished with 33 points in 31 games. At 6'3", 200 pounds, O'Connor is looking to become a power forward with the Penguins in the NHL as he signed a 2-year entry-level contract. Now for Cam Lee. He is a bit older than O'Connor at 23 years old. He finished his last season at Western Michigan this year, and it was actually cut short because of the virus. Lee is 6 feet tall and 168 pounds. Hopefully they can be good like other undrafted signings, Connor Sherry and Zach Aston Reese. Now let's talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates. As we wait for the baseball season to hopefully start soon, the Pirates optioned 7 players to the minors a few weeks ago. They were top prospect Ke'Bryan Hayes, along with fellow position players Cole Tucker and Jason Martin, and pitchers Edgar Santana, Sam Howard, Yoxel Rios, and Jeff Hartlieb. Hayes was not a surprise at all, but he should be up at some point this year. Cole Tucker was more of a surprise as he was hitting pretty well this spring with a .296, .387, .667 slash line with 4 walks, 3 home runs, and a double, and only 4 strikeouts through his 37 plate appearances. Jason Martin, along with Tucker, was fighting for a bench spot as well, and he was hitting .261 with 6 hits and 23 at-bats, including 1 extra base hit, a triple. We should see both Martin and Tucker in the near future as well. Santana comes as the biggest shock out of the pitchers sent down and probably as the group. Santana was once thought of as a great 7th-inning pitcher in front of Kyle Crick and Felipe Vasquez. He was great back in the 2018 season, pitching to the tune of a .326 ERA and a .358 FIP. He was injured last year and did not play after getting Tommy John surgery. He pitched 5 innings in spring training without giving up a hit. Sam Howard and Yoxel Rios will both be depth pitchers this year as they were claimed off waivers last year. Jeff Hartlieb had a short stint last year, but he was not good. He gave up 35 earned runs in 35 innings last year, and he had a whip of 2. He also had 18 walks and 38 strikeouts. Last up for today is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, let's start at the fullback position. Coming into the start of the offseason, I personally did not think that the Steelers needed anybody at the fullback position. We must have a thing for brothers because we signed TJ Watt's brother, Derek Watt, to a 3-year, $9.75 million deal. He is thought as a very good special teamer. Next, the Steelers look to the offensive line market for their next player, Stefan Wisniewski. Wisniewski was an offensive line starter last year in the playoffs for the reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and the 2018 Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. He signed a 2-year, $2,850,000 contract last week. Next, they made a trade with a division rival. They acquired Chris Wormley from the Baltimore Ravens along with a 7th-round pick for a 5th-round pick. Both picks are in 2021. On the same day, the Steelers got their biggest free agent and former Colts and Lions tight end, Eric Ebron. This contract was worth $12 million over 2 years. He will pair with Vance McDonald as far as tight ends go. This was it for the NFL signings and trades from the Steelers so far. However, they did dip into the XFL, getting 5 different players from it so far. These names include the New York Guardians' Jerron Jones and Kayvon Walker, the Dallas Renegades' Christian Kuntz, the DC Defenders' Tyree Kinnell, and the St. Louis Battlehawks' Dwayne Hendricks. We're all going to have to wait to see how this pans out. That's going to be it for today. If you want to listen to updates on sports, specifically Pittsburgh sports, you can listen to my podcast, City of Bridges, on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Casts, and Radio Public. You can also follow me on Instagram at City of Bridges Podcast and on Twitter at City of Bridges P. Now, that's going to be it for today, and I hope everybody stays healthy and safe.
Well, Tim, I'm not sure about you, but one of my favorite things to do at home with my family is play board games.
Yes, I would have to agree with you. Unfortunately, I would have to say that I would defeat you in any board game that we would want to play. But moving on from that, our own Tom Nicely standing by to share a little bit about some board games you may want to check out while in quarantine.
Hello everyone, it's Tom Nicely coming to you from my own home. Thank you for joining us for FRHSTV At Home Edition. Today I'll be showing you 3 board games that you can play with family or even friends. Of course, while following the social distancing guidelines. The first game is one of the most popular games in the world, Monopoly. It's where people can buy and bargain for properties on a board. Like most games, Monopoly is a game of luck. You roll 2 die to see how many spaces your character will. During Monopoly, there are several characters or avatars you can be during the game. So then that character moves with your rolls. Keep in mind, however, Monopoly isn't all just fun and games. My family in particular, we get pretty competitive whenever it comes to Monopoly, and some arguments can arise from it, so just keep that in mind. Another amazing game to play with family is Sorry. Sorry is a game of luck, where you have 4 pawns, and you try to get them around the board until they get back into your home. In Sorry, you draw cards, and whatever number is on the card is how many spaces you move your pawn. Sorry is a game great for families and for kids of all ages. However, if you're not with family, it would be quite difficult to play these games because you wouldn't be with people. But there are some people in our community that have been playing games over Skype, Zoom, or even Google Meets just to get family and friends all together in one setting. Playing over Zoom is Yahtzee. They would get multiple people from their family together, and they would have a big Yahtzee game, and only one person would need to have the scorecard to keep score of the game. Also, Scattergories is another game that people have been playing over Zoom. Scattergories is a little bit difficult because if not everybody that you're playing with has the game, then you may need to go drop off some pieces and parts to the game to their house so they can play. But that shouldn't be a problem because it'll be in a bag and you won't have any physical contact with people. Quite easy to video chat on Zoom. All you need to do is get your friends and they need the app. And then once they have the app, you can send them a link to join the Zoom. And then your friends and you can just play. Thanks for joining me today, guys. It's been a pleasure. I would recommend for you guys to go try all of these games out for yourselves and see what you guys think. You may find some things surprising. Stay healthy, everybody.
Attention juniors who are interested in participating in the senior internship program next year. Mr. Stanzak is still taking applications. Our counselors have posted the application on their Google Classroom for juniors titled FRHS Class of 2021. The access code is GRNOY5U. That's GRNOY5U. Once in the classroom, go to Classwork, and the application is posted under the topic titled Resources. Mr. Stanzak will contact you shortly after he receives your application. If you have any questions or need help, please contact Mr. Stanzak. In library news, the library has hundreds of new ebook and audiobook titles available, including the entire Harry Potter series in both ebook and audiobook formats. Also, the 2021 Reading Team book list is now out. Every book on the list is available as an ebook. See the library website for more details.
The counselors would like to invite all students to join their Google Classrooms. They'll be uploading important scheduling information, forms, videos, and different resources for all students in their counseling department classroom. The join code is 6DWSI5D. There's also one for each class in order to cater to the needs of each group of students. For the class of 2020, your join code is QALVBE3. For the class of 2021, your join code is GRNOY5U. For the class of 2022, your join code is XJAPJBU. And for the class of 2023, your code is LJFUSCA. We've all seen or heard about how our healthcare workers are being impacted by the COVID-19 virus. I recently had a chance to talk to a local resident, Beth Quinn, who works at McGee Women's Hospital to find out more about how hospitals are being affected. I am here with Mrs. Beth Quinn, who is a member of our healthcare community. First, let me start off by saying thank you for joining us.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Could you tell our viewers what exactly your profession is?
Sure. I am a nurse by background and have been with UPMC for over 20 years. I currently am a director of women's health for operations department. Women's health is obstetrics and everything gynecologic related at UPMC Magee Women's Hospital.
And what prompted you to get into this field?
Well, I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. So from when I was little, I really didn't have any other options in my mind. So I went to the University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing right out of high school. Graduated from there, started at Montefiore Hospital, and then moved to Magee about 18, 19 years ago.
Now, how has the coronavirus impacted the healthcare profession? Do you see an impact where you are working?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, I work for UPMC, and so we have 42 or 43 hospitals across 3 different states. And so we work as a healthcare system, not just one hospital. So we function right now, and for the last about 6 weeks or so, have functioned at this very high rate of action to try and get ready and prepared for COVID. So we knew that this was coming. So we've been preparing on getting all action plans, all policies, procedures up and running, making sure we have enough equipment. I'm sure as everybody has heard, the PPE equipment, we always had that, but making sure now we have a plentiful supply in all of our hospitals, that our staff is trained and ready to go, that we have certain response teams. We make sure that we don't bring in elective or procedures that are non-emergent. We got rid of trying to slim down staff in the hospital and making a lot of our staff remote if it's possible. Today I'm working from home. Most times I'm still in the hospital though. So everything is very different in the hospital environment right now.
Now, you actually might have just answered the question, but do you feel like our local hospitals are ready for a large surge in cases in the area?
We are. I mean, we've been waiting and bracing for it for at least 6 weeks and thinking it was going to come. Some of our hospitals have seen a higher volume of that. At Magee, we have not. But at some of the hospitals, we have seen patients coming in that are positive, that we're treating. I think that we've been prepared. We are continuing to be prepared. And thankfully in Allegheny County, because we have flattened the curves, so to speak, we have not seen that high volume yet. So we haven't felt the surge or the hit that unfortunately some others have in other states or on the other side of our state as well, over near Philly. They have felt that.
I know in New York and other places around the world, we've seen images of people cheering and saying to support our healthcare workers. What's the most positive thing that you have seen since this pandemic has started?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of that too. We've done some of that at our hospital as well. And so I think continuing to be supportive of all, not just hospital, but really all essential workers is really important. A lot of people have been donating their time to sew things and to send food to the hospitals. And I think that's all really good. What I think has been really wonderful to see is when we see on TV all of the patients that have been treated for COVID and been released, and the celebrations that are being had for that. A lot of just acts of kindness, I think, are what I've enjoyed really seeing. People are very different now because it's a different world, and I don't think that the world we used to know is going to go back anytime soon. So I think it's just really nice to see how everybody's changing and functioning differently. From celebrities on social media and everybody kind of engaging in these different ways to meet each other in different ways and be positive and supportive of each other has been really, really great for everybody. And that's what I look forward to seeing when I don't watch the news much because it's a lot to take. And so I only watch a little bit, and I enjoy watching the stories where you see all of the positive things happening and all the people that are sharing the good news and the supportive stories.
Yes, well, thank you so much for talking with us today, and we hope you and your coworkers stay safe.
Great, thanks.
Thank you for joining us today.
Remember, we would love to see some videos of you and what things you're doing to pass the time. You can send us your short video clips of things you are doing while you're at home at shstv@franklinregional.k12.pa.us, and we'll try to air a few of those next week.
Remember, everybody, stay safe. Send us some pictures or videos that we can air next week. And if you're seeing anything good or happening around you, please email us and let us know.
Make sure to tune in next Friday at 1 p.m. for our next episode. But for now, I've been Ryan Lucht.
And I've been Timothy J. Quinn. The J stands for juice, orange juice, which I'm about to go drink. Have a good weekend, everybody.